Hey everyone, my name is Andrew and today we're talking about the Anker EverFrost 2. It is the second generation of their 12-volt cooler. We're going over the differences from the old one, some of the similarities, and some of the improvements. So they moved the bottle opener from the left side up to the right side and the right corner to make way for this brand new accessory bar. It's got mounting points for all kinds of different accessories like cutting boards and fishing pole and umbrella holders. So I thought that's a really nice addition. I think that should open up the market for a lot of third-party accessories as well as first-party. They're going to be coming out with accessories to mount there, cup holders, all kinds of different stuff. The wheels, they kept the same exact wheels. They're like a hard rubber, except the only difference on the front I also see is these vents are moved a little higher. You can see on this side they kept the exact same design with the handle and the cutting tray on the side. They both flip up and can be used as a cutting board or to set down your drink. The back side is where you really start to see some of the differences. The battery covers are completely different, and one of my gripes with the first generation was that when you took off this lid, it just fell off, right? So the kids can smack each other with it. The one on this one, which is the new cooler, it stays there, doesn't come off. There's no reason for this to come off. It's attached with rubber hinges here. So that is pretty cool there. The other difference is that when you put this on, these ports are still exposed. So if you have any inclement weather, even though this is only, the new cooler is only IPX3 rated, the old cooler had no protection for the USB, and the new one has these little covers. So we can take this off, have access to the USB-C and USB-A ports. And if you have the second battery, if you buy a second one, you can also have ports to the second battery there as well. So I thought that was really nice, a nice improvement. The old one had just one AC port, and you would charge it with DC or solar directly on the battery itself. The new one has an AC and DC port on the cooler, and they have removed the XT60 from the battery, meaning that when you're going to plug it into solar, you're going to plug it directly into the cooler as opposed to the old generation, which is only AC, and the solar goes directly into the battery. The next bit of innovation is in the lids. This is where I think three improvements, I would say. So number one, the big obvious one, is the new generation has a built-in fan. It's a built-in refrigerator fan that circulates the air inside of the box and keeps it an even temperature throughout the whole cooler. The old one didn't have that, but one of my other biggest gripes was this chain that kept the lid from falling down. So the hinges have been upgraded. The hinges keep the lid open without falling, and the old one just fell all the way back and it was held on by this plastic chain. The new hinges, so much better, keeps the lid open without the need of a chain, and it just doesn't get in the way. It's something less to break. I really like that improvement. They both feature a light that when you open the door, this light will come on just like your refrigerator at home. The old one came with a basket. The new one, which I really didn't ever need. I didn't really keep anything separate. I could just stack it up here. It wasn't really needed. It just wasted space. The new one doesn't come with that basket. They both come with a drain hole right there and down there at the bottom. So that's the differences in lids on both coolers. We can take a look at the buttons on the top. The old generation, I didn't like these buttons. They're kind of smooth, and so I don't know, it just felt like there was some quality control issues there. The new one has physical buttons, which I really like. I like those buttons a lot better. They're much more defined, easier to read, especially in high sunlight. This, you can barely see the smudges. You can only see the little icons. This, you can definitely see the buttons and what they represent there. The next difference is the brightness of the screen, which is much upgraded. The first one, you could barely make out if it's not completely shaded, you can barely make out what it's saying on the screen. The new one is much brighter. Even in high light conditions, it doesn't get washed out. You can still clearly see what the temperature is and the little gauge there. One of the most requested tests is how long this battery lasts. Remember, I just have one battery installed. It's charged to 100%. It's Wednesday at 5:38. The temperature currently 71 degrees ambient. Temperature probe 2 is in the EverFrost 2, and temperature probe 1 is in the EverFrost 1. And we have EverFrost 1 down here at the bottom. So let's turn them both on at the same time and we'll see how long it lasts. That's turning on. And that's turned on. Again, they're both charged to 100%. So it's 6 o'clock now. It's just over 20 minutes, and the temperature is already at temperature here. Again, it's about 2 degree swing, so I have it set to 39. It's 40.1, but the EverFrost 1 is still at 55 degrees, so that hasn't dropped down to temperature yet. And so the difference in the EverFrost 2 getting to temperature is so much quicker than the EverFrost 1. You can see that they advertise about 15 minutes. I figure anywhere between 18 to 20 minutes or so if you're in the low to mid 70s, getting down to about 39 degrees. So that's definitely a positive to get there quicker. This is also pretty accurate, only within almost about accurate, about 1 degree swing. Says that it's 39. The temperature is actually at 40 degrees, so really accurate there. EverFrost 1 is at 55 degrees. It thinks that it's at 40 degrees. Battery is 94% on the EverFrost 1. We're at 94% also on the EverFrost 2. So about 6%, it's already at temperature, but again, the compressor is still on the EverFrost 1, and so EverFrost 2 seems just much more efficient and quicker to get down to temperature. All right, quick update. The EverFrost 1 just came to temperature. It's 39.9 degrees. It took almost an hour, about 50 minutes or so, and the EverFrost 1 just came to temperature. It thinks it's at 32 degrees. It's more like 39 to 40 degrees. That's what I've found is that the EverFrost 1, even though the internal temperature will be what it's set to, the screen shows a lower temperature. So I set it to 39. It thinks the screen says it's 32, but it's actually 39 degrees inside. So I don't know. The temperature here is very accurate. 39 degrees, 39 degrees for the EverFrost 2. So that is super accurate. Again, so far we've used 6% battery, holding temperature pretty good. So that's about the hour mark. And so we'll just let these run and see how long they last. All right, everyone, we're at the 24-hour mark, and the EverFrost 2 is at about 38, 37 degrees. And we've used about 35% battery, so we're at 65% left. Started at 100%. This has been 24 hours with them running. These coolers are empty. The EverFrost 1 is at 52%. So there's almost a 15%, 13% difference in battery. So the EverFrost 2 is actually more efficient, cools down quicker, and holds its temperature pretty accurately. I've noticed the EverFrost 2 as well during the day would kind of maintain a more even temperature. The EverFrost 1, this temperature would go into the almost mid 40s and then back down, so it's kind of fluctuates a lot more than the EverFrost 2. So that's it for the similarities and differences. Let me know in the comments which one you liked. I think that the second generation is a much better improvement over the first generation. They're both great if you're looking at coolers. Both of them are going to be a fantastic solution for an iceless cooler if you're tired of ice like I was. But let me know in the comments what you think.